So, I had a thought, and I always have a thought, but so I had a thought about the fact that, do you know why people cheat? And don't mind the background, I'm sitting by the road, so you're gonna hear cars consistently, and there'll be confirmation, of course, but so do you know why people cheat? You have to realize that the reason why people cheat is because their soul knows that they are not meant for that person. It's why whenever we work jobs that are, dead-end jobs, whenever we go to work and we are exhausted afterwards, or we are hating having to go to work, it's because our soul knows that we are not supposed to be there. We are not supposed to be doing that. It knows. Our souls know way much more than we give them credit. So our subconscious is always trying to find ways of getting out of that situation, of trying to self-sabotage. That's where the whole self-sabotage comes in, is because if we actually take a look at that self-sabotage, this is where it gets crazy, is that if we actually look at our self-sabotaging, it really isn't about the fact that we ruined it. Think of it in the concept of how we just weren't meant to be there anymore. We may have needed, or we may have been in that relationship or at that job for a certain reason. But once that time is up, once that reason is done, then it's time to move on. It's time to break free from it. It's time to break up. And sometimes it's for like a small amount of time, and sometimes it's for like a very large amount of time. Case example for me is the fact that whenever I was looking back in my life and I was looking back at all my self-sabotaging things, for one example, a lot of relationships I self-sabotaged because of the fact that it wasn't meant to be. It was something that I wasn't listening to myself and realizing that that's not where I was supposed to be with that person. I was supposed to learn things from that person, and we were supposed to help each other out at a certain point. But past that point, it wasn't going to work. Then there was the time that whenever I was getting my black belt in karate, I did not actually get to my black belt. I only got to red black. I got to the belt right before you get black belt. And for so long, I was so upset at myself. And I was just like, how could I not actually follow through? Why didn't I finish that? Why didn't I get that? Later did I learn that once you have a black belt in karate, you have to actually register your hands as weapons. I don't know how accurate that is for, all forms of martial arts, but that was told to me by someone that also had history in martial arts. And so I was just like, well, then I would have had to done that. And then when it comes to defending myself, my hands are considered weapons. So therefore, it's not something that I can really defend myself, because of the fact that then I could get sued by someone else because use of a deadly weapon kind of thing. And so it was like, wait, so it was a good thing that I didn't get my black belt. Okay, another case in point. Being a teacher. So being a teacher for elementary school, I did about 4.5 years, almost 5 years. And at that mark, then I self-sabotaged in so many ways. Alcohol addiction and a really toxic home life, all of that stuff, self-sabotaged. It was the fact that I wasn't meant to be a teacher anymore. I was great at that job, but it was not my soul's mission. It was not my calling. I loved it dearly. I loved teaching kids. But the politics of it all, and the way teachers are treated, and the lack of funds, and the fact that most teachers are pulling money out of their own pockets, if not applying for grants or other things like that to try and get what they need for the classroom. And don't even get me started on the testing and all of that, the standardized testing that these states have, which is absolute, just, yeah. We're not going down this road. You'll get me going on a tangent. But the fact that how our public schools are structured right now is horrific, and how teachers are treated, and how there's so little of teachers and not enough teachers to be able to meet the student quota and all of that stuff. The classrooms are disruptive, that there's no discipline anymore, and there's no accountability, and all of that. Like, there was no way I was going to continue in that area. So was it really so bad that I self-sabotaged that? No, it's because my soul was telling me that it was time to go. All the little signs were pointing in the direction that it was time for me to let go and move on to something new. So often we realize that you're going to continue to manifest things to happen until the tower hits. If you hold on to something for too long, that's whenever, God steps in. That's whenever you create something so profound that you have to leave. It has to happen. So there are so many things that it happens. You are the creator. You are the creator of your own reality. And so therefore, you are creating these things. You are the one that is causing all of these towers, causing all of these mishaps, all of these things to happen, to get your own attention to leave something or someone or somewhere. So it's just so funny. That's why with this job that I have right now, it's one of those things that I am doing the things that are necessary to leave this position, because I know that this is not where I'm supposed to be anymore. And I mean, I may have to work 2 jobs. I don't know yet. We're just gonna have to kind of mess around and find out. But I will do it. Whatever it takes, I will do it. And with all of that, knowing that you are protected and that God's got you, that everything's going to work out. If you consistently have that mindset that everything's going to work out for my greatest and highest good, it will. It truly will. I have so many times that it has happened for me that I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen next, but I'm just going to go with it. So many jobs that I have left that I'm like, nope, this is not for me anymore. It's time to walk away. And I just straight up left. Didn't have any other job lined up. Nothing lined up. But everything worked out. Bills still got paid. Things still got taken care of. Everything. So the thing is that we hold on to things for too long sometimes. And whenever you're getting the signs to go, you will know the signs. I can't tell you what your signs are going to be, because that's different for everybody. But you will know them. You will see these little tiny things going wrong, and it'll be one right after the other, right after the other. And they're going to continually get worse and worse and worse until you let go and you decide it's time to move on. That's how it always works out. So, 2 lessons here. Do not shame yourself and guilt yourself for self-sabotage. Try to look at it from the perspective of why that wasn't meant for you anymore. Why that relationship wasn't meant for you. Cheating. If that person cheated on you, be grateful. Because that person wasn't meant for you anyways. If that person cheated on you, then it's one of those things that you don't have to deal with that person anymore. Yes, it hurts. Of course it hurts. I understand it hurts. I've been cheated on countless times. I have. And so I have taken back cheaters. I have, not anymore. That's not my game anymore. My ex-husband was a continuous cheater, and I allowed it. I allowed him to get away with it because I accepted that behavior as being okay. And not anymore. That's any sign that someone is cheating on me, I just drop them. I won't even mess with anybody that has that energy of playing around. Period. That I just won't. If I even sense for a second that you have eyes for another person, if you are not content with me, we aren't going to be. And on that note, if you are the person that is going out and looking for more, if you have somebody, if you are in a relationship and you are looking elsewhere, then you aren't happy in that relationship. Don't stay in that relationship just because it's comfortable. You are doing both of you a disservice because that person can be with someone else. Maybe they're meant to find their perfect person, or not perfect person, but their other person. Maybe they're supposed to find their special person. And you are taking that place because you just want to be comfortable. You want to feel safe. You want to feel something, feel wanted. Don't. That is so hurtful to where that person is supposed to be. And if you are cheating, you aren't actually happy with that person. You are not happy in that relationship. So you are hurting another person. How do I know this? Because I have been that person too. I've walked both sides of the street, guys. I have been on both sides. I got to walk the Buddhist path of where I got to see what it feels like to be on both sides. Have I cheated on when I was married to my ex-husband? Yes, I did cheat on him during that time. And not to justify what I did, because of the fact that there was a lot of deep programming from my ex-husband that I was told that that no guy would ever want me with 3 kids at my age. I was continuously told that for a very long time. And so when another person was interested in me, I was so surprised by it because I was like, what? But he told me, and it changed how I looked at myself, and I was able to actually break free from that programming and to leave my abusive ex-husband. Eventually, that programming was deep. But my point is, like, I know that it is hurtful to people, and I know that I have felt hurt from it as well. And that's the thing, is if you are not happy in a relationship, then don't be in that relationship. Walk away. If you are not happy at work, then walk away. If you are not happy where you're living, then it's time to walk away. Your soul is trying to tell you something, and you should listen to it because it's trying to tell you where you're meant to be. So I just wanted to share that about your soul and knowing it truly knows. So I wish you guys all the best. And I really did not, like, I hate owning up to these like really awful things because it's one of those things that you like fear how people are going to look at you, but it's also, I will not sit there and hide my deeds in the past. If I don't feel like a relationship is going anywhere or anything is going anywhere, I'm going to try and do my best to break it off as cordially as possible. If it's with someone toxic, then no, I just straight up bounce. But if it's with someone that you can actually talk to and have a civil conversation with, then I will have a civil conversation with. But yeah, I feel like that's all that needs to be said and shared with everybody so that they understand. And I wish you all the best, because right now we're all going through a massive transformation. So allow this transformation to show you what is not meant for you anymore and be able to let it go, because your soul knows. It truly knows where you're meant to be. So listen to it. Okay? And I love you all, and I don't know why. Okay, I'm being told before I leave out of this, I'm being told that I need to point out the fact that I am a very loyal person. I'm by far one of the most loyal people you will ever meet, because I will stick things out through and through, but because of my loyalty, it has been one of my downfalls as well, because I have stood by the wrong people in my loyalty. And with that, I have learned from my mistakes that loyalty can only be met with other loyalties. So why I point this out is because of the fact that I stayed in an abusive marriage for 13 years because I believed that I could change and help and save, and that you're supposed to see this thing through and through. You're supposed to stand by your person, and you're supposed to help them through the hard times. But there's a difference between that and somebody that is sucking your soul, like sucking the life out of you, killing you slowly. And that's not just for a relationship, that's for a job as well. If you are working at a job that doesn't treat you the way that you deserve to be treated, then you don't need to be there. If they are holding you at, like, if they are sucking the life out of you, you don't need to be there. If it is a soul draining job, you don't need to be there. If you are living in a situation that is draining you, you don't have to actually be loyal to them, because that loyalty to someone else and not yourself is self-abandonment. And I had to learn that the hard way. I was abandoning myself to help another person that wasn't even putting in the work, or to do a job that wasn't treating me the way that I deserve to be treated. I was abandoning myself, and I will never abandon myself ever again. That's why I continuously choose me. I will always choose me until I find someone that can meet that same vibrational frequency of not abandoning themselves and choosing them, but also coming together and choosing each other and having that loyalty and being able to work things out, and know that if things didn't work out, then we would walk away cordially and we would do everything in our power to be together, but we wouldn't lose ourselves in one another, and it would just be as it is. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I just wanted to make that noted. I was told that I needed to say those things as well. So thank you, Spirit. I'm going to go ahead and now let you go, because my daughter's gonna be walking out here in just a few minutes, and we gotta go pick up prescription meds and stuff like that for them, and gotta go take it back shoelaces and go pick out new ones because daughter is broke and all of that fun stuff. So I'm gonna go be a mom and get things done, and I love you all. Good luck with your soul searching and making choices for you, and choosing yourself and loving yourself, and leaving things that aren't meant to be. I love you all. Good luck with it, and mwah, mwah.